Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. You know, I've been thinking about what to say for this intro, and sometimes you just want to get stuck in and get to work on the project you have planned. And what I have planned for all of you is a giant portal building, so we will have an official nether portal to bring people through to our area, including myself of course, and the place that I want to do it is just down in this area, and there are markers on top of trees. I had chests in my inventory for the area for me to clear. So we are going to jump straight into this thing with a time lapse and construct our nether portal. This project is far from finished yet, my friends. First of all, I feel like we should light this thing up, step back, and embrace the glory. That is really fantastic. I just made myself jump. This is far too loud. That sounded really loud on my end. This is not a full-size giant nether portal, by the way. It's a little bit smaller, and I need to fill in the insides here with white concrete, right? I was thinking, what about a secret entrance to a project down below? That might be something we do there. And speaking of down below, no, we're not going to leave this looking as ugly as it does right now. I actually have a plan for what we're going to put below this. It's going to make it look really cool. And you're going to have to wait for another episode because I plan on just doing that during a live stream. So twitch.tv/xisumo, that's where the live streams happened. I do it on a regular basis, so be sure to go over there at some point and hit the follow button. Now there is still more work to be done this episode. I need to be placing some leaf blocks down the bottom here, not only to stop mobs spawning on the grass, but also to bring them up a little bit, as on one side of this build, it looks kind of large, right? And that is because the ground it's built on is on a slope. So on this side over here, we end up with this big and kind of ugly, plain cyan terracotta wall. So we need to hide it with some leaves. The reason I picked this spot, by the way, is because it's kind of on a hill and it's high up. If we just fly over here and look over our shoulder, you can kind of see the cliffs and the terrain where it's raised up and above. But there are trees kind of spoiling the view as well, so we're going to knock a few of these out, so when you're approaching it straight on like this, the view isn't obscured. And now I'm having a little bit of a moment as I climb up this ladder, because this is the very first tree that we actually settled underneath and put some chests down in this jungle, and then headed up top to look around. And now I'm doing that again and seeing all the beautiful things that we have built, and this is the last tree to be chopped down. So a couple have gone from that side over there and 3 or 4 from over here. Look at that, the view is now simply wonderful. Let's throw down a rocket, and oh, so much clearer on this side as well. Oh, I'm loving it. It's so much more opened up now. What a terrific project. And a big thanks is owed over on our Hermitcraft Reddit community, mainly to these two users who put together this post. It is a portal design for Mumbo's base, and when I saw this, I thought, no, this should be in my base, because the hexagon shape, right? It's like a honeycomb. If this was an octagon shape, then clearly it would fit in Mumbo's base better. And I also scrolled down to the comments and noticed the top one was, this is really cool, but it suits xisumo's base more, to be honest. And so I spent my time redesigning this off of the image that was shared over on Reddit. It's a little bit smaller overall, but it's absolutely fantastic. So thanks again to the Reddit community for your inspiration. I'm coming to the realization that building a smaller scale version of this on the Nether is just simply not going to work. It just looks so awkward. Yeah, I think I'm going to abandon this idea. This is far more acceptable, not particularly glamorous, but it works, and at the moment I'm revisiting the idea of colour coding the carpets. And when I say revisiting, I mean I'm actually going to finish this up this time. So I'm going to get a colour for Etho, we've got Beef over here, and Keralis. We're going to have 4 streams of colour coded carpet leading back to the middle area, and then on the opposite side of my portal I'm just going to have the one now. I've removed the one for the creeper towers, and back at our temporary storage area, we've got our own colour coding system going to the slime farm and to other places as well. I should have really finished this the first time I set out to do it. It looks fantastic. This just looks absolutely amazing. I love it. It's turned out so good. Feels like a racetrack when you get down to the end here. And yes, as I got to the end here, I decided to hook up Impulse, Zedaf, and Tango, and you know who needed it most? Tango, clearly. I knew you were going to make a joke about this in the comments, so I'll make it for you. Tango clearly needed some instructions on how to get to his portal. Now, the next thing you and I need to talk about is some optimizations that have been made to the server. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. We've now been running these changes for a couple of weeks. We've been able to increase the view distance. Even when there are more than 10 people online, we have no tick lag. In fact, I'm yet to see any tick lag on the server at all. And so, of course, loads of you have been asking me what exactly we have done. Instead of the vanilla server, we are now using a fabric server. And to be clear, fabric is a framework for mods. It doesn't actually modify the game itself at all. It just puts all the things in place for another mod to come along and modify Minecraft. So we are using a mod known as Lithium that works with Fabric, and what this does is it takes some of the code that performs all the things that happen in the game from the server's perspective and it optimizes them, with the end result being practically identical to a vanilla server, but as the graphic shows you here, the performance will be about 42% better. So that's what we're running. You can find links to both of those things in the description box down below, and I cannot provide you with technical support for this stuff, so you'll be on your own. Of course, there are communities around these mods, and I wish you the best of luck if you choose to use them. It's been fantastic for us. And speaking of that view distance, now when we're in this area, we can see so much more of our base. It feels really immersive. We can see our neighbor Etho over here, and if I fly in this direction, we'll even see Keralis off in the distance. This man's base is just absolutely gorgeous, and in this episode we have the privilege of coming over here and doing a job for Keralis, something I've been working on in the background as a little redstone contraption to help him with some of his needs. And so while we wander around his base quickly, just to take your mind back to what we were talking about a second ago with the optimizations, what we are running is not to be confused with Spigot or Paper MC. These are modifiers for servers that kind of change the fundamentals of the game, meaning that things like redstone and certain elements like XP orbs kind of behave differently. The idea of Lithium is that your experience will have absolutely everything behaving the same as it normally does, yet under the hood things are happening slightly different, and that means that the game performs better. And so far for us, it's been fantastic. And again, what's fantastic? This guy's base. I'm absolutely loving this. Oh, it's so inspirational. I love what Keralis has done here. Now, he has asked for my help in one of his warehouses where he has installed a kelp farm. He asked for help with the kelp. In fact, he's finished building his kelp farm. It's pretty cool. Through the other side of this door, there are some flying machines that go back and forth. And I think this area looks kind of cool. I was talking to Keralis about it. I said, look, this view up here is amazing. You can kind of see the farm being a part of the warehouse. But it's actually out of sight. It's out of view. And so anyway, his flying machines make their way from side to side, and the kelp that grows in the middle will then make its way to the top, into the hoppers, and through to the room on the other side of this wall. And this is where we come in, my friends. Keralis wants to make dried kelp blocks, and we're going to help him do that by making a contraption. Let us now cast our minds back to the glorious Season 6 of Hermitcraft, and as I make my way over to a project that's very similar, I'm reminded of just how epic and glorious our Nether Hub was, compared to what we have now. Of course, we're waiting on the 1.16 update. And so this is the place. I certainly got my practice making towers last season, and it's just over here that we have a similar contraption to what I'll be building for Keralis. We had tons of kelp come into this system, and then we would cook it into dried kelp, and it just happens there's actually nothing here. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit here to show you that this system worked. So then I could come around and break the chests like this, and then use all of the dried kelp and craft it up. But what we're going to do for Keralis this time is automate it. He won't have to break any chests at all. Hello there, kitty cat. This fella's just been purring at me the whole time I've been building. It's quite cute and adorable. And so what you see here is a little further along from that mini time lapse we just did. I put glass over the top level of the droppers. There are water sources at the back there, and that means any items that come out of the droppers make their way to here. And now you can hear some clicking noises because there's a pressure plate there to activate some redstone. So all of these smelted items will come over here, and there is a crafting table for Keralis to access. Now if we just go underneath and have a look at the redstone here, where you stand on that pressure plate, you simply power some redstone that's going to push an observer up into there, and that makes a clock. In fact, we'll simulate this by just putting a power source here, and then when we go down over here, you'll see that's what's going on. And then that's updating all of these observers, and of course then powering the droppers. So if I chuck some sticks in there, you'll see they get spat out into the water, and then they make their way over to this pressure plate where Keralis can be standing, and then can be crafting the dried kelp. I've just had the realization that I've built this all one block too high. I thought I double checked this, but apparently not. You see, these hoppers right here feed the kelp through, and they need to be one block higher because we're going to have a chain of hoppers on top of these ones so that they can go into the smelter. But I've done it wrong. So the question is now, do we put a redstone contraption over there to raise it up by one block? Or do we go and rebuild this entire thing? And this guy just managed to get himself trapped in the farm somehow. I don't. There's glass here to stop you from doing this. How? How did you do it, Keralis? So it's all been lowered by one block, and then I realised that it should also be pushed in that direction by one block, but there is a way around that problem. So if we had a hopper right here, it would pull out items coming across the top. So we're simply going to put a dropper there, and this is where our fuel goes in. So we're going to have a ring of hoppers going all the way around the outside. So that leads to this over here. This chest is where Keralis can come and put in some fuel. And if the hoppers here are full up, then this lamp will be on. So if it turns off, Keralis will have a heads up that he needs to put more fuel into the system. Now the next thing we need to do is have another ring of hoppers. This is for the stuff that's going to end up inside of the smokers. And as you'll see, we can simply redirect the kelp from the farm straight across into these hoppers here. Now with a little bit of player intervention, that being crafting, this thing can become self-efficient as dried kelp blocks can be the fuel for smelting all of the kelp. However, I brought Keralis a little present to get him started. 6 shulker boxes worth of sticks, although someone has taken some out of this one right here. This will be the fuel to get this thing started. So I'm going to load it up into this chest. We are currently all out of sticks, and I filled this thing up just over halfway, I reckon. Also, put a bunch of droppers on the top here, and that of course stops the hoppers below from seeking items above them in the world. So that's like an optimization thing, and of course we're still going to do stuff like that even though we're now running lithium. There is also this side of the farm as well. There's no reason we shouldn't put some droppers on top of these hoppers. Jeez, it's a little bit funky standing on the ladder. There we go, so now all of those ones are covered as well. So I'm over here at the witch farm, obviously to gather up some more sticks, and I was going to tell you about how we've upgraded to lithium and then something goes wrong with redstone, and do you know what it is? It's just me being a derp again. So if we open up some of these chests, you'll see they are a complete mess, and that is because the item filters broke. And I was looking at it and I was thinking it through, and then I realised it's just because I've set them up incorrectly. So the sugar item filter filled up all the way to the top, and because I didn't actually set this up correctly, there's supposed to be one of each. it means that the redstone signal has bled over to the other side, and that caused the rest of the filters to break. Anyway, it's all fixed up now, so we can head out of here and finish the project. All those sticks have been unloaded, and finally, this thing is ready to be used, and I've left Keralis some signs as instruction. So here it says light off equals fuel stockpile low. Leave 9 rows of inventory clear. Fill rest with 1 dried kelp block. Step on pressure plate to receive lots of dried kelp. Turn on lever to stop kelp flowing into contraption. So if I hit this, we're going to see all of the smokers fire up. Oh yeah, but not straight away, because it's going to flow through one item at a time, and it's going to go into this one first. Also, these chests are just Keralis' stockpile. I've set it up so that those will slowly drain and help fill up the smokers. Alright, this thing has been at it for a while now, and I was just thinking this is also an XP bank as well. So when this backs up and there's some dried kelp in here, you can walk up here on top of the glass and just pick out some and get some XP as well. But anyway, let's see this thing in action. So as you can see, I put the dried kelp blocks like this. The regular kelp can go into that bit there, or the regular dried kelp, and that's a lot coming my way. That is filling up very, very quickly. I like this very much. So once it's done getting filled up in my inventory, we've got items down here on the ground, then I can shift click there and then shift click there, and we've got a stack of dried kelp blocks, and we've got another one already. Excellent. Look at this, it's crazy. I love it. This is actually really, really fun. It just looks so crazy. Oh, what a cool contraption. So with the construction of this contraption finished, I met up with our bee buddy Keralis, aka Keralis, and gave him a little show of the contraption in action. I also explained to him how it doubles up as an XP bank. So Keralis reached in and pulled out the dried kelp, and then all the XP for all the items that had been smelted were delivered to him, and that repaired my pick, which I had thrown to him, and then he got to use it and he absolutely loved it. This thing looks really cool as well, just seeing all of that dried kelp flowing in, ready to be crafted into dried kelp blocks. Me and Keralis also talked about the possibility of expanding this project in the future, selling dried kelp blocks, which reminded us, of course, we got some profits to collect over in the shopping district, and Keralis has actually been working on the warehouse over there.
So, for you viewers, I'm not sure you've shown. It's a little bit of a dirt warehouse.
They haven't seen. It's not a dirt warehouse. Don't put yourself down, man.
It is. No, like people have been saying, it got to me, man. They'd be like, "Hey, it looks like a kindergarten or a daycare center."
Oh, I'd like to see them build this. I'd like to see them build this.
Right in the fields, man. Right in the fields. That
beautiful.
Is empty now.
This
we
is
can use that for something in the future.
It's genius.
Like,
it tells the story. We've got sand. We've got sand and gravel. Minecarts to move things around. Look at this, deposit pits. This truck literally has sand being deposited into the sand bit, and then the shulker boxes.
Yeah, that took some time to color. Yeah,
and to grind all the shells, I imagine. I mean, they're all shulker boxes here.
Yeah, I have a few hundred of them, so I'm not like I've been spending some time flying around in the Nether or in the end, so I've got them. So this is not a waste, but it looks so nice, especially just makes it, I don't know, so vibrant.
It does. It's gorgeous. I love all of it here. It's amazing. So we actually had some sales.
Dude, there's Lime has sold.
It has?
Lime is all sold out. Light blue is being sold. I'm not taking the diamonds. You take. Oh, hello.
I'll take the diamonds.
You take the diamonds. It's a little bit iffy with collecting the profits from this, but
yeah, occasionally you end up on a llama like me.
Yeah. What happens if you kill those guys?
Oh, don't kill them. They die.
It is just a thought. In case there would be a thing. Would they drop the diamonds?
In case there'd be a thing,
items?
You want to know if you can kill the llamas? Jeez, murderous individual.
I don't know. I'm just.
Look, there was a concept here, right? That discount prices would lure people into our shop. Now, I went and checked, and some of the stuff we sold out there, the customers then came inside and paid for more in here. So, we sold some light blue on the cheap, and now we've sold some on the regular. So, customer wins, we win as well. Over here, Keralis.
Yeah, I like it, but you know what? I don't want any diamonds. Not yet.
Ah, no, 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 no. Look,
No, no, come on. Okay.
What? We're supposed to be partners in this. Look, we made 48. We'll split them in half. There you go.
But I don't have no space. I got kelp all over the place.
You got
Here,
kelp
take some
problems.
scaffolding for
Thank
free.
you.
I do have a kelp issue. 48 diamonds is not bad. I take it. I think this has been it's a very slow start, but we will make our way. We're gonna make a fortune out of this.
Absolutely. There is another way we can make a fortune as well. Okay. Did you sign up for Tag 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Electric Booga Booga. Yeah, I'm a part of it.
Ah, well, check this out. Here
You got a tag?
are a whole bunch of diamonds that you and I could win. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay. People are
Not a
going to
bad
see
idea.
this number tick up in my tab, and they're going to start coming after me because they don't want me to win all the diamonds, right? What if we play a little game of confusion? Every time you and I pass each other on the server, we swap the tag. All right? And then if you see me, if I'm in my base, if I'm flying past, we bump into each other in the nether, just swap the tag and then go on our ways, right? Then together, if someone comes after one of us, we got half a chance of not being the person with the tag.
Yeah, I'm up for that. And how much is, 1 point is 1 hour? Or how does this work?
Yeah, you got to hold on to it for an hour. Keep it in your inventory at all times and hold on to it for an hour, and then you get a point.
I love the idea. Can you imagine having all those diamonds? That's not a lot of diamonds, but it's diamonds nevertheless.
It's
I mean,
yeah,
3
it's not a
diamonds,
crazy amount, but it helps. And that's
carrots, gravel. We need gravel for our business as well.
true, yeah. The gravel's more important than the diamonds.
Pretty much, yeah. That is a great idea. I'm up for that. Can
Excellent.
I high five you?
Yeah.
There we go. Right in the face.
Right back at you.
Ow. Just whammy void.
So now we have got a plan to win the game of Tag 2 Electric Boogaloo, and I bumped into Keralis over at his base. Oh, he remembers. He remembers the... No, wait, that's not the tag. I thought that was the tag. Hey. Now he's got it. Now he's got it. So we have got to get in the habit of just exchanging the tag back and forth between us, and I think it's a great strategy of deception to win the game of Tag 2. Let me know what you think of it with a comment down below, and what did you think of the project behind me? I really enjoyed doing this today, but this is the end of the episode, so leave a like if you enjoyed it. Thank you as always for your support, and I'll be seeing you soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.